Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Whiteboards. I'm Evelyn.
And I'm Priscilla. Today we are talking about a perspective you don't hear much about moving from teaching assistant to trainee teacher.
I worked at my school for 5 years as a TA, so I knew the environment. But becoming a trainee teacher, that brought a new set of challenges.
How did it feel to go from being a TA to a trainee teacher?
I think it was a little bit hard because I couldn't um, change my mentality from being a TA to become a teacher, And I was still talking to the children at the beginning like I was their TA because I worked with them the year before. I had some of them in my class. So I felt like I was the TA in the class and I was acting like I was the TA in the class. And then I realized that and I tried to portray myself more as the teacher in charge of the class, not the one behind the scene helping the teacher. So that was quite hard for me. I know you moved to a new school for your training, so your transition from TA to trainee teacher must have been completely different than mine, I guess.
Yeah, I think you would be right there. One thing similar to you that I found is that getting out of the mentality of being a TA and having the role of teacher, I found that really difficult, and I do find myself slipping back into the TA kind of experience and how that goes. And just the other day, I found myself, I just got absorbed. I was helping out in a maths lesson, bent down to like help some children that was struggling. They were finding it quite tricky, and before I knew it, 45 minutes had gone.
So something similar happened to me as well. I was teaching an English lesson, and I realized a child was struggling. So I sat next to him and I tried to help him without realizing. And actually, I was in charge of that lesson. So I was thinking, oh yeah, well the teacher will take over, when it's time. Not realizing that the class had already finished doing their work, and I was still helping the child.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when my mentor gave me the feedback, I said to her, I realized then maybe I should have given them a challenge or something else to keep them occupied until I finished with the child. Or just to be honest, what the child was doing wasn't even relevant with the English lesson I was doing. So I could have even said to him, okay, I can see you're not secure in this, but we will learn this further in the year, and then just move on. But because as a TA, I was always sitting there helping everyone through their problem, I thought I'm doing the same thing.
That, that's the same that happened. Yeah, no. That's the same that happened with me. So we had these children that were struggling to understand place value. And so let's say you had the number 237, adding one more, adding 10 more, and adding 100 more. And we were drawing it counters onto the laminated sheet, rubbing it off, adding on 100. I was really engrossed in helping them. And I managed to get them from using the visual representations like that to being able to do it in their heads.
Oh, that's good.
I know, and I felt fantastic. I was like, yes, they've got it. And then I realised I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about the rest of the class. And I think I think that's going to be like a bit of a problem,
But
isn't
you
it?
can take this as working with a group.
Yeah.
Just take that as, oh, I was working with a group this week. Yes.
And it was successful. They learned well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just apologizing. My cat is snoring like mad, and I don't know if you can hear it from the microphone.
I can't hear it now, but maybe when I edit it. I hope so, because that'd be really cute.
Yeah, it is really snoring. Anyway, what was the things you found most challenging this week, and how you, well, sorry, and now your TA experience help you settle into the new school?
Oh, I have found settling into a new school a challenge in itself. The people I work with are absolutely lovely. The school, I am so happy with it. I really landed on my feet. The best place I've ever worked. But you know me, I'm quite introvert. I'm still feeling like I'm settling in. I'm going into the staff room every day, but really not able to engage in conversation that easily. I just feel like
Well,
I'm a
you need to
bit.
push yourself.
I know, but everyone like like the conversations that everyone could talk about that you can't really get involved in because you don't have any prior knowledge on situations or things that have happened. Do you know?
Yeah, like the children when you teach a lesson and they don't have prior knowledge.
Yeah, literally the exact same kind of thing. So I just feel like I've got nothing to add. And people are kind and they ask me how I'm getting on and that, but how like what can I say? You know, so today I spent half of my lunch eating in the staff room and then I went back to the class to study for half of it. And I thought that's a good middle ground where I can get that socializing and making friends. So my TA experience has helped me out with the group work most definitely. And actually, seeing the class into the classroom, I've managed to meet, greet and do the register. So that's been fun. I've done the register both morning and after lunch because my mentor's been really unwell. Her voice has gone, so it's been nice to be able to jump in there. One thing I have found that's really helped is being able to grab other people's attention. So one thing is having them look at you when you say, "Oh, I don't know, good morning, Evelyn," and if they keep looking down, going, "Oh, it's really polite when you look at me," or praising somebody else for looking at me when they say good morning back. So that's been, yeah, that's quite.
I realized something as well. So when I was a TA, and I always thought my behavior management wasn't the best, and I wanted to improve that. But I realized when I was a TA, children were not pay much attention when I was reprimanding them or ask them to do something. But now that they see me as a teacher, their behavior completely change. And honestly, if I say 1, 2, 3 eyes on me, they're all listening,
I
and
found that as well.
it's like, but I'm not doing something different compared to what I was doing before, but their response is completely different. And it's very strange. I don't
Chil-
understand why, but it's
Children are
strange.
like that though, aren't they? They really do value that hierarchy, and they really do see adults in a hierarchical sense as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Definitely. This is a really good example of it.
Yeah, massive example. Evelyn, what was the most challenging thing you found this week?
I know you will think teaching, but no, it wasn't teaching initially. Then it became teaching.
Evelyn's had a really
Everything
fun
is
week.
being challenging.
We're laughing, but it's been a tough week. We've we've
There's so much to do and to remember. Oh my goodness me. Okay, so the I think the hardest part is maintaining the routine. And I think writing my own script. So my mentor asked me to write my own script, and then I need to perform my own script based on the routine I want them to learn, right? But at the same time, so I can write the script, that's not the problem. And I can do the routine, but because I'm not feeling confident in myself 100%, I think this shows when I'm doing the routine and then I'm trying to change it. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm, you can see when I'm there in front of the class, then I'm not, I'm self-conscious of what I'm doing. And I don't think it's working very well.
but remember, you're a trainee teacher. You're not a
I
fully fledged
know, I
teacher.
know. And I have 6 year experience as a TA. Still, I'm like a little tree when I'm in front of the whole class and I need to give them instruction. Like if my instruction are not good enough. So it's very strange. It's a strange feeling. So that's for me hard. It's hard, yeah. try to find the confidence in me and find my style and find myself is very hard.
Yeah, and you definitely have voiced how hard you are finding it.
Yes, definitely. But, you know, it's no one's fault. It's just me right now. So
Okay, so you've actually taught your first lesson then. So how was that? Obviously, you've said you've struggled maintaining routines, but apart from that,
they were listening. I think I just, sometime I will say to them, okay, close your book and do this and that. And the next time I will do it different, because I feel like I didn't do it right the first time. So I'm trying something else. But then that's not the right things to do. I should just do the same things constantly. Then it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter, but at least I'm consistent. When I'm overthinking every step and every word I say during the lesson, and I end up making more mistake than I would do if I don't overthink everything. I think I can feel the pressure. Then I wanted this for so long. I wanted to be a teacher for so long, and this is a lot of pressure for me.
yeah, you're putting a lot of that pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I cannot fail this.
You won't
Yes,
fail.
I'm my worst enemy. I know that.
You are your worst enemy, and you won't fail. You just need to take a deep breath.
Yeah, I'm
Tomorrow
teaching
is
tomorrow as well. So
yeah, me too.
I taught maths half a lesson. That was the first day. And then I taught English twice already.
So you're doing really well. You've definitely jumped into it deeper than I have. I've taken it slow. So I am teaching science tomorrow. I have an experiment to do on friction and how the surfaces changes the amount of friction. And today I was lucky to go and watch the neighbouring teacher teach the lesson.
That's really good. That's
Really,
really good.
really
So at least
good.
you have an idea of what you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
How
and
do you feel about it?
I think I'm nervous to be observed teaching it. Because as a TA, when you teach, you're teaching because you're covering. No one's really observing or judging, so I am nervous to be observed. But I know what the outcomes for the lessons are, like what the children need to know. So I feel like I can teach it. It's just whether I stumble over myself and forget something or waffle, which is a problem. And it's like, oh, let's learn a new word. And I watched Shannon do vocabulary today. Sorry, I watched my mentor do vocabulary today, and she just seems to have such a good grasp of everything and could describe words really succinctly, and I just can't do that.
Well, just practice at home.
Yeah.
I do practice the lesson I need to teach at home.
Thing is, we can't do that for every lesson next year, but we are just
No,
trainee
of course
teachers.
not. But now at the beginning, then you only have one lesson. You can practice, and then when you're more confident, then you don't need to do that anymore. It's just so you get the gist of it, and you can hear yourself saying things, and you can correct yourself. Even though I do that, and then I do completely the opposite when I'm there.
Like panic.
I panic. I'm terrified. Especially English because I have no confidence in English. It's not my first language, so I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I saying? What am I going to do? How do I teach this? And we do a lot of phonics vocabulary at the beginning of the lesson, and phonics is again something I'm not confident with. That I'm trying to learn step by step. So teaching English for me is the hardest thing I'm doing. Maths doesn't scare me. Topics don't scare me. English is like, oh,
Let's remember you did just pass your English GCSE, so you've got this. You can do this.
I can do this. But even as a TA, English is always been my thing, and I never wanted people to come and observe me as a TA teaching English. I always tried to get them to come and do my appraisal when there was maths or reading. No English.
Okay, it's time for a quick break. Don't worry, we'll be back in a flash with more golden crumbs.
everyone, we're back with part two. Let's talk workload. How have you managed to balance working full time in primary school, coursework, PGCE study, and looking after your own children?
I don't think I'm managing all that well.
Why was I expecting this answer?
um, I'm trying to say to myself that I'm managing really well. I've already got one module done for the training provider side, so that's a golden thing. But you've got more than me, so it makes you think I'm not.
No,
Pardon?
but I had 2.5, but I had to do them for today. So I had a deadline because before every Wednesday when we go to the clinics and then we do the studying the whole day, we need to do 2 modules.
Okay, that's fair. Um, yeah, we've got the PGC side of things as well, but we haven't got our first module teaching day until until Tuesday.
I know people cannot see what's happening here, but come on. The cat was in front of the camera. Show me her bottom, you know.
Hold on,
And
bumhole.
Sila is trying to speak to me, and all I can see is a black bottom
With a pink
from the cat.
centre.
Say it again, come on.
I'll start from the PGCE side. The PGCE side, I haven't had to do loads of that yet because our first module teaching day is next Tuesday. I do have some pre-reading to do though, which I don't know if I showed you the article. It's on dialogic teaching. I
I did that.
did you
I
read
read that as well.
by Alexander?
Yes, it's the same. I had to read it for today, I think. I really don't know if I read the right article, but I had to read it.
How did you find it? I found the first 5 pages especially like I was reading a second language. I had to research
What?
so much of the vocabulary,
No, it was alright.
like epistemology, um, abundate.
Because I learned these things during my uni, like epistemology. We talked about this so much. Then I was reading it like I read all the article in my uni. It was quite easy read. I just got bored after a while.
I'm having to write notes on the side.
Maybe my article was easy. I don't know, but it's the same article. Honestly, dialogic teaching, yeah, from Alexander. They were talking about initial response feedback, initial response evaluation, right?
Yeah,
Rate, reaction, instruction, exposition, all that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the same. I can send you my article. Maybe you can read mine. Maybe it's written in an
maybe.
easier,
How many pages is yours? Mine's 40 something pages, or 39, or something around there.
roughly the same. Yeah, I can't remember. Hello, cat again. I can't really remember, but roughly, yeah.
I'm like 9 pages in.
I read it all in one sitting.
What, and understood it and remembered it?
Remember it? No. Understood it? Yes. Wrote tons of notes about it? Yes. And had Microsoft reading it for me. So, yeah.
Hmm, I'm really struggling with that article.
We can go through it together.
Yeah, okay, so what about you though? Do you think the workload this year is heavier than last year when you were enrolled in your final year of university, which you was doing full time alongside a full time job?
I'm not sure, you know. Sometimes I do think it's heavier, and some other time I'm thinking, no, maybe it's not. The difference is the only deadline I had, it was to write my essay. So if I didn't do all the tasks by the time I did well, I had to go through the task, but I could skip a few, because no one was checking if I was giving the answer. So I will just read and not doing the answer, to be honest, because they couldn't see it. As long as I give my essay in, that was fine, right? But now they are aware if we do the tasks or not. So I have to do it. Then I don't know because honestly, those units then I read, they're only an hour long. But to me, it feels like I'm taking longer than that to do it because I'm getting distracted by my children and they interrupt me or someone call me, it feels like I don't have enough time to just sit there and go through it and just read through it and do it in an hour. So it makes it looks like it's longer, but in reality, I don't think so. There's another things as well. We're not planning yet. I wonder when we start planning on top of this, then definitely it's gonna be more. And also, I didn't even look at the PGC stuff yet. Like I'm reading these articles which are connected to the PGC part of the course, but my actual essay, I didn't look at it. The requirement on that essay, I didn't read them yet.
See, I've had a look at the requirements, but I can't say that I fully understand what the requirements are.
So you will slowly, slowly.
That's it.
Your
Slowly,
course supposed
slowly.
to help you. Say
Yeah.
it again.
So slowly, slowly, yeah, I will get there. But I think I'm definitely a kind of person that I need to do it and then come back and check, and then I will understand what I'm being asked to do. The same way I've kind of just done the um provider side of coursework and then come back and realize there's actually a timetable for it, and now I understand the timetable. Because do you remember I said to you that I got to go and watch that science lesson
Yeah.
with the plan to teach it today, which I didn't teach it because my mentor was off. She's been really unwell. Well, whilst I was sat there watching that lesson, I was really worried because I was like, I know that I'm not going to be able to retain this. And I was
Did you?
writing, no, I wrote down loads of notes about the lesson, like what he said, how he explained it, what he was doing in the classroom at the time. Like I was trying to write as much down as I could, what referred to what slide, because I just knew there is no way I can retain that information. I was typing so fast.
Don't know. I need to find a device to record my mentor. Even the feedback, so I can listen to the feedback again and again and really understand what I'm supposed to improve. Because right now, she gave me the feedback. By the time she finished, I already forgot the first part. And then she asked me question, about the feedback. And the day after she said, "Oh, did you remember what I asked you yesterday that I wanted you to work on?" I'm like, "No, I don't know what you said yesterday. Honestly, I don't remember."
So funny.
It's terrible. It's really, really bad. Now, thank God you got a device, a program to record stuff,
Still haven't
which will
got it
come.
yet though.
Okay, I didn't even got an answer for the DSA yet. I didn't got an answer. I sent the email like they asked me with the DSA, um, second DSA form, and they never reply back. So I sent them another email asking them, okay, what's going on and when will I have an answer? They never replied. Then I resent everything through the student finance stuff, which was September something, and got nothing yet.
Wow, that's a completely different experience to mine.
Yeah. And the first time they got all my evidence was 28th of June.
Yeah, that's taken a long time because you were the one that told me to apply.
Yeah. 10th of September, I resend everything again. 10th of September.
Yeah, that's really not okay, is it? So you're going to be struggling along until they finally reply?
Yeah. And they give me a call and decide what I need. But for now, I'm on my own. So yeah, I am struggling. I'm struggling even in when I'm doing my clinics.
You're what?
The clinics, we call them clinics. So when you go to the study part at the other school, at the teacher training provider, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm missing parts of what she says, especially if I'm writing notes, then I don't hear what the person said, what the teacher say. And so sometimes I need to go, oh, what do we need to do now? And it would be nicer if I can record these people, talking, so I don't miss out pieces of the lesson.
I am with you there on that. The one thing I say most commonly in the hub, we call it the hub, is what we doing now? Because everybody else is moving and I've not quite caught up. And what we doing now? And I said that to them. It's going to be the thing that I say the most. What are we doing now? So that everybody else around me can direct me because I am off with the fairies. Or I find like they've all managed to pack up and get out of there, and I'm still scrambling to grab all my stuff. Like what?
So then I'm thinking right now, yeah, we are saying these things, right? And then we are going in front of children, which obviously their cognitive ability is lower than us adults. And we have children with disability, we have children who are lower than others. So then how can we help these children, knowing that we are struggling as much as them?
Do you know one thing I found really helpful for children that struggle? Um, Using the interactive whiteboard and writing down the instructions. Like something as simple as that can really help those children who struggle with cognitive load, who struggle with memory, because especially ADHD children, you can see them recheck the board to see what they're doing. I think that's a really positive step. That's something I want to include more of. With my mentor being unwell, um, she lost her voice, and she had to write a lot of the instructions down on the whiteboard, interactive whiteboard. The impact was massive.
Okay, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't see many teacher writing all the instruction like, oh, okay, so first that's what you need to do. Second, I don't see them doing that.
No, neither do I normally. I've seen it a few times in my last school. Like, if the class were being particularly difficult, the teacher would write up, I don't know, like simple.
Not a common practice, isn't it?
No, not a common practice at all, but something that every time I've seen it, the impact has been massive, especially for those struggling students.
So, what advice would you give to anyone transitioning from a TA role to a teacher training?
Oh, that's a very good question. My first piece of advice would be don't assume that prior experience makes it easy, because be prepared to feel new all over again. I think that goes for whether you're staying in the same school that you've already done TA, going to a new school, either of those roles. Um, Observe other teachers as well, ask questions, and embrace the messy first lessons. I would definitely really advocate for observing as many different teachers as you can. So many teachers teach in different ways, and it's interesting and really fulfilling to see everyone.
Also, you
You,
can pick up things then you can use as well in your
yeah,
own practice.
exactly. You're not going to do things exactly the same way as any teacher, but you are going to build your own way of teaching.
Yeah. Any other suggestion?
Yeah, so use your knowledge of the school to your advantage. If you're training at the same school, you already know the students and routines. If not, your TA skills will help you to adapt to the new school and build positive relationships with the children.
This is exactly what my lead mentor told me yesterday. I was talking to her and I was feeling a bit unsure of what I was doing. And she said exactly that to me yesterday because I've been there 5 years. She said, you are in a better position than other students in the course because I have 6 year experience as a TA. I know the school, I know the rules, I know the people in the school and the children. So she said, use that to your advantage. Just go into the school, know that you're a teacher, take control, and use all the knowledge you have about the school to your advantage.
Exactly. She's very right, and you need to take that on board.
It's so hard though.
I know we and you are having very different experiences right now, but I think that is one thing you have to take on board. I think you should also take on board the next tip, which is to celebrate small wins. Every successful
When
lesson,
I achieve one, I'll let you know.
every successful lesson, and every positive interaction counts. I am sure that somewhere in your day you can tell me there was a positive interaction.
Course, I had a girl who said to me, I know you're not here tomorrow, but I'll bring you a picture on Thursday.
That is so
I'm gonna
cute.
draw you a picture. But then she came today and she forgot.
Oh, but that you were thought of. That's really cute. What a cute interaction.
Yeah, that was really cute. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I can't wait for seeing to see your drawing. But then she forgot. And she came and told me, I'm so sorry, I forgot about it. I'm like, "Ah, it's fine."
Actually, that is really, really sweet. Yeah, but I think there's something you really need to focus on every day. Maybe you could keep a journal a little bit just for now whilst you're struggling and just write down the positive things that you're seeing.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea actually. Because I tend to focus on the negative part.
Yeah, and get yourself all in a tiz.
I will say then it's important to remember that the first few days are about learning and adjusting. Not the things I struggled with. Don't be hard on yourself. If everything doesn't go perfectly or if you feel like you are not doing enough.
I think Evelyn
Am
needs to
I
take her
talking
own
to
advice.
myself right now?
I think you are.
I should follow my own advice, but it's easier to give advice than follow them. Make sure you build a positive relationship with your mentor. It's essential to be able to communicate, raise concerns, and discuss problems. Having the professional support will make a world of difference throughout the year ahead. 100%. It's true.
But I'm going to add a but to that. That relationship doesn't rely just with you. The mentor needs to also play their part.
It's a mutual relationship and understanding. And I will say something else. My head teacher, before I started this course last year, at the end of the school year last year, said to me, then having a good mentor is one of the most important things because that can change from you passing the course and you failing because of the relationship you have with your mentor. This
Yeah,
is
I
what
was
she
told that
told
as
me,
well.
you know. This is very important. So if you don't get along with your mentor, you need to say something.
And say something in a professional way. You've got to be professional.
Definitely. Always maintain professionalism. At the end of the day, you are a teacher, you are a professional, so you need to be professional when you speak to other professionals. Another advice I will give is don't assume that because you have classroom experience, you know better than others. Definitely is not always the case. And listen to the advice and feedback you receive, act on it, and be proactive.
And if you can't remember it, record it.
Oh, it's true though. I try to write it down when she say it, but she goes fast, and I can't keep up. And then I'm just thinking, if I write, I miss part of what she's saying. So I'm just listening and then forget.
Could you get her to email it to you? You could say so I can use it
I'm
for
gonna ask her definitely. I'm gonna ask her to write what she's saying down because I can't remember. And I want to practice the things she tell me to practice. So I don't want to miss parts of it, because she's very thorough when she gave me her feedback. She's quite thorough, so I need to know. I need to remember what she's saying, and I can improve on that.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. Well, today/yesterday's episode because of the problems we've had. Stepping from TA to trainee teacher is challenging, exciting, and full of surprises, even in a familiar school, and even if you've never been a TA before.
If you're a TA thinking of training as a teacher or just starting out, know that your experience give you a head start, but it's okay to feel like a beginner again. I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, you do. I'm very much sitting down and shutting up and just listening at work at the moment. I'm not. I
But you
haven't
need to
jumped in
start
like.
teaching.
Well, I will. I will. I was meant to today, but such is life. Okay, so everyone, please share this episode with anyone making the leap. They'll thank you.
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Whiteboard. You got this.